Tonight, London has loosened its shoulders. It has finished performing. The crowds have gone home. Office towers stand silent behind dark windows. Restaurants have emptied. Theatre curtains have closed. Shops have been shuttered. The rush of the day has dissolved into something softer. And now, beneath a velvet sky, London becomes something else entirely. Something softer, slower, perhaps even more beautiful. It is late at night, the kind of hour that feels hidden from the rest of the world, the kind of hour that seems to belong to bakers preparing tomorrow's bread, hotel porters quietly welcoming late arrivals, street sweepers polishing the city before dawn, black cab drivers who know every story hidden beneath these old streets. The streets are empty, amber and soft. Tonight, there is nowhere you need to be, nothing to finish, nothing waiting for your attention. Only this moment, only this quiet London night. You step onto a nearly empty street. The evening behind you has been perfect. A beautiful meal, lingering conversation, candlelight reflected in crystal glasses. No rushing, no obligations. A pleasant evening where nothing was forced and everything arrived exactly when it should. You stand beneath a glowing street lamp. The pavement still holds the memory of rain from earlier in the evening. The stones shimmer faintly beneath pools of amber light. Everything feels softened, gentler, slower, as though the city itself has decided to exhale. Cool air brushes softly against your skin. You inhale slowly. London's night air carries its own scent, the scent of warm stone, rain lingering somewhere in the distance, a faint trace of jasmine drifting from a window box overhead. Across the street, warm light spills from the windows of a small hotel. A night porter stands beneath the awning, perfectly dressed, his posture relaxed, patient, watching the street with calm eyes. A brass luggage trolley gleams beside him beneath the street lamp. Farther along, a florist rearranges pale roses in silver buckets. White petals glow beneath the streetlight, and for a moment, they look almost luminous. A young couple strolls quietly along the opposite pavement, hands linked. Neither of them speaking, neither of them looking at their phones, simply walking, simply enjoying the city. Their footsteps echo softly against the stone buildings, then fade into the darkness. The street grows quiet again. You turn the corner. And then, just as the thought crosses your mind, there it is. A black cab. A classic London black cab. Its headlights appear first, two warm circles floating through the night. Then comes the familiar shape, solid, elegant, timeless. Its bodywork gleaming faintly beneath the lampposts above. The cab glides toward you, unhurried, graceful, like a boat moving across still water. The driver pulls smoothly to the curb. The amber taxi light glows above the windscreen. The rear door opens. You slide inside, and almost immediately, the sound of the city becomes a murmur. The city remains outside, visible through rain-speckled glass, but the cab itself feels like a private sanctuary moving through the night. The seat is wide and deep, upholstered in smooth, buttery leather, worn in the best possible way. Not old, not tired. Comfortable. Like a favorite armchair that has welcomed thousands of stories, soft enough to sink into. The cabin feels warm, safe, sheltered. The driver glances into the rearview mirror. Silver hair peeks from beneath a navy flat cap. His eyes are kind, observant. the kind of eyes that have spent years watching people without judging them. "Good evening," he says. His voice is warm, low, comforting. You greet him back and tell him your destination, slowly, carefully. He pulls away from the curb. The engine hums. The cab rolls forward, and London unfolds before you, street after street of honey-colored light. You let your body settle into the surface beneath you. You breathe in and out. You take another long, slow breath in and let everything go. Grand buildings rise from the darkness, their stone facades glowing softly beneath Victorian lampposts. Black iron railings glisten from the earlier rain. Window boxes overflow with lavender and ivy. Golden light leaks from the occasional apartment window high above. You let your head rest against the back of the seat. You watch London move slowly past the window. You notice the people who remain awake. A baker unlocks a side entrance to a tiny shop. Warm yellow light spills onto the pavement. Inside, bags of flour wait beside polished mixing bowls. Tomorrow's croissants have already begun. A newspaper delivery driver unloads stacks of bundled papers. Tomorrow's headlines sleeping beneath twine. A woman in a long trench coat walks home, collar upturned, carrying lilies wrapped in brown paper. The flowers rest gently against her shoulder. A hotel concierge straightens a row of umbrellas near a revolving door, each umbrella perfectly aligned. Two cyclists drift silently through an empty junction, their lights glowing red in the darkness. The streets at this hour are extraordinary. During the day, London can feel relentless. The crowds, the buses, the noise, the sense that everyone is always going somewhere urgently. But now, the streets belong to nobody. Or perhaps they belong to everybody, returned for a few hours to themselves. The cab moves through a wide, tree-lined avenue. The plane trees on either side are enormous, their trunks pale and mottled, their branches spreading high overhead and meeting in the middle, forming a soft, dark tunnel of leaves and lamplight. You pass through it slowly. The light shifts, amber, then shadow, then amber again, as the lamps move past one by one. A tall woman wrapped in a thick, knitted cardigan walks a small dog along the far pavement. The dog trots beside her, alert to everything, nose down. She doesn't look up as you pass. She is inside her own quiet world, her own version of London tonight. A night bus moves through a crossing ahead, tall and red and completely empty inside, its lit windows floating past like a lantern carried by no one. The streets are changing now, the buildings taller, older, the stonework heavier and more ornate. You are moving toward the river. You can sense it before you can see it, something in the air, something opening, the city releasing its grip on itself as the water gets closer. And then, at the end of a long, straight road, you catch your first glimpse of the Thames. Dark and wide and still, its surface holding the lights of the South Bank in long, trembling lines. Just a glimpse, a moment. And then it is gone again as the cab turns and the buildings close back in. The cab slows, and then it turns, and you are on the bridge, Waterloo Bridge. The Thames opens on both sides of you, and the city, the whole city, reveals itself. The Thames moves through the darkness like black silk. Thousands of lights shimmer across its surface, gold, silver, amber, white. Tiny constellations dancing on the water. To your left, downstream, the skyline of the City of London glows against the dark sky. The Shard rises highest, its glass tip dissolving into the low clouds above, lit from within, a spike of pale silver light. Tower Bridge is just visible at the far bend of the river, its towers lit in gold, its suspension chains forming two perfect arcs above the dark water. To your right, upstream, the south bank runs along the far shore, the lit face of the National Theatre, the London Eye turning so slowly you can barely detect the movement, its capsules glowing gently in the dark. Below, the river moves without sound, without hurry, carrying the reflections of everything on its smooth black surface in long, beautiful lines. The driver slows the cab almost to a crawl. You lean forward slightly towards the window. You take it in, all of it. The lights, the river, the city that has been here for thousands of years and is still tonight completely magnificent. Historic buildings stand beside modern towers, centuries sharing the same horizon. A small riverboat drifts silently through the darkness, its cabin windows glowing warmly. Inside, a few passengers sit quietly, wrapped in their own thoughts. Along the embankment, a lone runner moves beneath street lamps, steady, peaceful, unhurried. The bridge feels suspended between worlds, the sleeping city below, the quiet sky above. You feel something soft, a quiet gratitude for the evening, for the cab, for this view, for the fact that you are here, in this city, on this bridge, at this particular hour. You breathe in and out, in and out. The cab picks up pace again, gently. It moves slowly across the bridge. The bridge ends. The city closes back around you. The cab moves north through the Strand. By day, this is one of the busiest roads in London. Tonight, it is a different place entirely. The theatre marquees are still lit. They keep their lights on all night, those grand old buildings, as if they cannot quite bear to go completely dark. Their names glow in the soft night air, a musical here, a play there, a name in tall gold letters over a columned entrance. The show's ended hours ago. The crowds are long gone, but the lights remain, warm and theatrical, casting their glow onto empty pavements. The cab turns into Covent Garden. The neighborhood feels transformed. The piazza is silent now. The crowds have vanished. The performers are gone. The market sleeps. The cobblestones, empty. The old market building at the center is lit from below, its Georgian arches glowing a deep, warm gold. Only the architecture remains. Beautiful, timeless, quiet. You watch a fox cross the piazza. It moves without hurry, diagonal across the cobblestones, nose low, entirely at home. It pauses for a moment at the edge of the light. It looks up. Its eyes catch the lamplight, two amber points in the dark, and then it moves on, disappearing into the shadow of a side street. "Covent Garden Fox," the driver says, as if introducing an old acquaintance. "Doesn't care about us at all." He shakes his head, chuckling softly to himself. The cab moves slowly through the quiet streets around the piazza, past the flower market, dark and shuttered, the smell of cut stems still faintly in the air, past old pubs with window boxes and hanging signs swaying in no wind. Everything closed, everything resting, the whole neighborhood breathing slowly in the dark. Rain begins, only a few drops at first. One touches the roof, then another, then another. Soon a delicate rhythm forms overhead, a soft, steady percussion. Gentle rain on the metal roof above you. Soft, steady, hypnotic. Droplets gather on the windows. The city lights blur into glowing watercolor shapes. Everything becomes dreamlike. The driver reaches forward and turns on the windscreen wipers. The wipers move slowly, back and forth, back and forth. You close your eyes for just a moment, just to listen. The cab moves west along the embankment, one of the oldest roads in the city. The Thames follows beside you, dark and smooth, reflecting scattered lights. The water moves with quiet determination, never hurried, always flowing. Across the river, buildings shimmer softly, their reflections stretching and bending across the current. On your left, Cleopatra's Needle stands on the bank, an Egyptian obelisk, thousands of years old, standing in the London rain as if it has always been here. The cab hums gently forward. The driver's voice returns now and then. Never too much, never too little. He points out a building, a hidden courtyard, a hotel with a fascinating history, a doorway most people would never notice. Every story is told softly, almost like bedtime tales. Fragments of London, pieces of memory, small treasures collected across 4 decades of driving. The rain is falling steadily now, a gentle, even rain, not heavy, not dramatic, just the soft, persistent kind that London does best. The street lamps cast their amber light through the moving water on the glass. The reflections on the window shift and shimmer as the cab moves. You watch them, patterns of light, rearranging themselves endlessly, soft and gold and slow. You feel yourself let go a little more, your breathing a little slower. The rain on the roof keeping its gentle, faithful rhythm. The cab turns away from the river and moves north. Soon, Mayfair welcomes you. Elegant townhouses line the streets, behind ornate iron railings, glistening black doors with polished brass knockers, tall windows framed by cream-coloured stone, window boxes with blossoming plants. Parked, silent cars line the curb. The rain makes everything shine. Everything appears impossibly still, as though the entire city is sleeping beneath a blanket of silence. Soft light glows behind a few curtains. In one apartment, the curtains are pulled back slightly. A man reads beside a fireplace beneath the soft glow of a floor lamp. Steam curls from a teacup resting in a saucer on a low side table. A large golden retriever sleeps on a rug beside the armchair. The city feels less like a collection of buildings now, and more like a collection of lives. You settle deeper into your seat. Comfort surrounds you. The steady motion of the cab, the warmth of the interior, the glow of passing street lamps. The cab continues northward. Tree-lined streets appear, elegant terraces, quiet corners, garden squares hidden behind wrought iron fences. A taxi passes in the opposite direction, its passengers laughing softly. Rain continues tapping softly above. Street lamps glow through mist, creating halos of warm light. The driver grows quieter now, his stories becoming fewer, the silences between words becoming longer, almost as though he knows that sleep is gently approaching you. Your eyes are heavy now. The city lights blur into soft streaks. The streets become gentle rivers of gold. The rhythm of the tires merges with the rain. Everything feels wonderfully simple. Nothing to solve, nothing to plan. Only this warm cab, only this gentle rain, only this peaceful London night. The lamplight falls in soft, uneven patches onto the wet stone below. The cab slows. Your destination approaches. Soon, the cab comes to a gentle stop. The engine idles. low and warm. The rain continues. "Here we are," the driver says. "Sleep well." You thank him, and mean it. The black cab disappears into the quiet London night. The rain continues falling. The river continues flowing. The city continues dreaming. You are inside now, warm and comfortable, settled into your bed. The sound of the rain continues against the window, muffled and soft, and the night holds you. You breathe deeply. Your shoulders soften. Your breathing becomes slow, even, easy. You breathe in and out, in and out. You are safe. You deserve rest, not as a reward, because your body is worthy of softness, simply by existing. You are allowed to choose ease. You are allowed to choose softness. You are allowed to choose peace. You deserve rest, comfort without guilt. Breathe slowly. Let the city lights fade. Let the rain carry away every remaining thought. Breathe in and breathe out. In, out. The rain on the window is the only sound now. Steady, constant, falling softly, falling steadily, falling like it was made for exactly this, to carry you the final distance into sleep. Let your eyes be still. Let your hands rest. Let the city drift away below you like the lights on the surface of the Thames. Sleep is here. Let it come. Let yourself drift further and further into softness, into stillness, into rest. And now, let yourself dream. Sweet dreams. Good night.